I used to love the sky over Scotland. As a small aviation pilot, I spent my days flying private routes over the Highlands. It was calm work, good money, and the views were breathtaking. But that changed one late evening in Inverness. The order came in late. A private client needed an urgent flight to the Isle of Skye. The weather was unsettling, thick fog and a constant drizzling rain, but within the limits. I arrived at the hangar to find my client, Mr. Graham, waiting by the stairs. He was a serious man in an expensive coat, clutching a leather briefcase as if his life depended on it. "We need to make it before midnight," he said. His voice was tired, almost hollow. We boarded the Cessna in silence. I checked the cabin, 6 seats, all empty except for Mr. Graham, who sat in the very back by the window. I started the engine, contacted the dispatcher, and we lifted off into the darkness. About 10 minutes into the flight, I heard it. A distinct click, the sound of a seatbelt being unbuckled. I glanced back at the small mirror. Mr. Graham was motionless. Then I heard footsteps, soft, wet footsteps walking through the cabin carpet, coming closer to my seat. "Everything all right, Mr. Graham?" I asked. My voice sounded thin in the quiet cabin. He didn't answer. I turned my head, my heart skipping a beat. And that's when I saw her. In the very last seat, the one that had been empty just moments ago, sat a woman. She was wearing a white dress, completely soaked. Long, matted, wet hair covered her face. A dark puddle of water was slowly forming at her feet, soaking into the floor. "Mr. Graham," my voice trembled, Do you have a companion?" Graham finally turned. He looked at the seat I was pointing at, and his face went deathly pale. "No," he whispered, his eyes wide with terror. "I'm alone." The woman slowly began to raise her head, and then I saw it. There was no face, just a deep, shifting black emptiness where her features should have been. Suddenly my headphones hissed with static. A female voice, quiet and cold, whispered directly into my ear, "Turn back, Thomas." I ripped the headphones off. The cabin grew freezing. The smell of stagnant lake water and algae filled the air. The engine began to cough and sputter. We were losing altitude, falling fast toward the invisible peaks of the Highlands. The faceless woman was standing now right behind my seat. I felt her breath on my neck, cold and wet. "Dad, let me go, please," she whispered. "Forgive me. Alice, forgive me," Graham shrieked, collapsing to the floor. And then, just as suddenly as it began, everything stopped. The engine returned to a smooth, steady hum. The freezing cold vanished. I turned around, gasping for air, but the cabin was empty. Only the wet footprints remained, rapidly drying on the floor. We returned to Inverness. Graham left the plane without a word. When I finally inspected the back seat, I found something. A small silver locket. Inside was a photograph of a young girl smiling. On the back, it was engraved for Dad. "Love, Alice." The next morning, I learned that Mr. Graham had been found dead in his home. He had died peacefully in his sleep. The doctors called it heart failure, but they mentioned one strange detail. He was found clutching a silver locket to his chest. I don't fly at night anymore, especially not in the fog, because I know that sometimes when visibility is zero, you aren't as alone in the sky as you think.